statement you want to make, or you want us to ask you questions?
No, I want a beer. That's what I want.
Like, you're down 22,
Yeah.
you're down 16, and you win the game. What did you learn about your team? What did they show you?
Well, you know, I don't think I learned anything in that way. We've done this several times this year. You know, remember the Dallas game, and you know, it was one of those games. The game started out where we missed wide open shot after wide open shot, and then I thought we pressed, and that's how they got the stretch. I thought before the halftime, getting it to 12, you know, that was important for us. You know, and I just thought we just hung in there. You know, we searched for combinations. We went completely unconventional. We went ultra small. We put Danny at the 4, who I thought, you know, his numbers won't show it, but I thought Danny Granger was huge for us. He got big rebounds. More importantly, he kept guys from getting rebounds. And I thought his length was a factor for us. And then obviously Jamal, DC, and that small lineup won the game for us. But that's a lineup I don't know if we've ever used. We were just searching for the group tonight, and that group won the game for us tonight.
So was it brilliant coaching, or did Paul ask to cover Durant?
No, it was neither. I mean, I told him he was covering Durant, but I don't think that's brilliant coaching. That's called desperate coaching. You know, you're just looking for any combination. And one thing we did say yesterday as a staff was Durant was beating us with his dribble. And if you put a guard on him, at least we could take that away, and it'll make him be more of a post-up player. At least we know where he's at.
But he clearly disrupted the way he was playing the game.
Durant just missed shots.
So you're not going to give Paul credit?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you that after Game 7 or something like that, then maybe. Yeah.
Doc, how important is it for Chris Paul to be aggressive in this series?
It's very. You know, we were getting on him early in the game. I thought he came off. You know, he's such a point guard. And in this series, the way they're guarded, he's going to have to be a scorer. You know, we won Game 1 because he was a scorer. And he almost, in the Game 2, almost, you know, the guilty point guard. You know, I got to get everybody involved. But he's coming off the picks open. And we want him to pull up and take those shots. And, you know, in the first quarter, I was like, let's shoot the ball. I know you're trying to get guys involved, but this may be one of those series where he's going to have to be aggressive as a scorer.
Coach, with all the things that your team has had to go through this year, talk about the crowd and how they've been so inspirational.
Well, they were great. We needed anything, and I think they sensed us coming back. You could definitely hear them. They were phenomenal. It's good to see them rejoice as well. But that's why you have home crowds, really. I mean, we're going to go to Oklahoma City, and their crowd's going to be amazing there as well. But it's nice that ours was there, and they hung in there. They could have gone the other way, and they hung in there with us.
Chris was on Durant late in Game 3, and Durant got a good look for
yeah.
Any
well, we trapped
on that one?
Yeah, we trapped this time. You know, we probably should have the last time. We worked on it, and we didn't do it. And tonight, whenever he got it, we sent an extra guy. You know, at the end of the day, Durant's going to be able to get a good look over CP, and that's why we just send help.
Doc, you kind of, over here for a second, you kind of beg your players to play at pace and with energy.
Yeah.
And you wanted to get out run. It seemed like DC finally kind of gave it.
Yeah, DC, you don't have to tell him much as far as pace, because that's him. But I did think the small lineup allowed DC to attack because there was no help, you know, at the rim, because they only had one big out on the floor, and we were bringing him up the floor to set picks. But we still have to run pace. You know, we had one in the first half where CP just threw it ahead to Jamal, and he got to the basket because they're long, they're a hell of a defensive team, and we can't keep walking it in and letting them set their defense. Their defense is too good.
Doc, you talk about the physicality between Serge and Blake, and did you get a good look at the punch early in the first quarter?
You thought it was a punch?
Yeah.
Okay, Mark says it was a punch. Everybody write that tomorrow. I actually didn't see it. My coaches were yelling in my ear, and I was like, I don't have a replay, guys. I mean, I'm sure I'll see it, but I don't worry about all that. I love the physical play. I think they should just keep playing physical and let them play like that. If a guy throws a punch, then the league will take care of it.
Doc,
Thank you, Mark.
I have no problem.
do you see Chris on Durant as a momentary thing, a situational thing?
Situational.
Is it something you would rely on more going forward?
No, situational. You know, we do like it because CP's hands, and he's pretty strong, but I don't like it because then you're taking a lot out of CP. So that's not a matchup we're going to live with, I can tell you that.
Hey, Doug, you talked about getting stops down the stretch.
Yeah.
You didn't do that in game 3, you did that in
Yeah,
game 4.
yeah.
You could touch on that.
Well, we really had no choice. I mean, we're down, so we had to score and get stops, and we did that. I thought the trapping was great. I thought our guys did a great job. It was something we had worked on, so it allowed us to know where everybody was at. I also thought sometimes you trap just to make yourself aggressive. That's not why we did it, but that's actually what happened. I thought by us trapping, we became more aggressive defensively. So maybe we should have done it earlier.
So going into the fourth quarter, Doc, when you're down 12 points and this series is completely different at 3-1,
Yeah.
what do you tell your team that you haven't told them already about stops?
I didn't tell them anything. I really didn't. I just told them to keep playing, hang in there. And the only thing I told them is don't try to do too much. You know, I thought we started right at the end of the third quarter. We started, each guy tried to do too much, you know, take a quick shot. And I said, guys, just keep playing your game and don't do too much. Just do what you do. Don't try to step out of that. And I thought we did a good job of that. I thought we pretty much stayed pretty calm.
Doc, your largest comeback this season was 17 points. Up until this game tonight, you came back from 22. How does that affect this series?
It just makes it 2-2. You know, it really does. It makes it an even series. Going to Oklahoma, they have home court. And so now it's a three-game series for both teams, and they have 2 at their place.
Doc, can you talk about as far as Blake with foul trouble and you being able to hold him out and then bring him back into the game and come out with a victory?
Yeah, Baby was great. DJ was great. You know, we played Blake. I almost got away with it. A good chunk with the 4 fouls, but we were just down so much. You couldn't worry about anybody fouling out at that point. It was just, if he fouled out, he fouled out. And I told Blake when he went back in, play like you have 1 foul. Do not play like you have 5 fouls. We need you to be aggressive, and I thought he did that.
Doc, you talked about the Thunder having a real sense of urgency with every play because of their playoff experience. Did you feel like in the first quarter your team might have been lacking that? Or can you
No, I
explain
think
what
we
that
got
was?
attacked. You know, I think they smelled blood in the water, and they jumped on us. I thought we missed some great shots. You know, JJ is a great shooter, and he missed 3 point-blank ones. I think Matt missed 1, Chris missed 1. And then I thought that we started pressing, and that allowed their force to take hold, and it did.
Doc, how critical is it for your team right here? How critical is it for your team to match OKC's intensity in game 5?
Well, we better do it out of the gate. They're at home. They're seething right now because, you know, they had an opportunity to go up 3-1, and now it's an even series. And, you know, we were almost on the mat, and we got off of it. You know, we didn't get pinned. We're back up, and now we're all even.
Doc, the last 9 minutes, you guys very efficient on offense. You
Yes.
scored almost every time you had the ball. A lot of that was transition, but when you weren't in transition, what was working?
Well, we found a set, you know. I over on the bench, we were sitting there looking at all my play calls, and, you know, we finally stumbled on one. It's one we've run a lot, to be honest. But with the small lineup in, and with Blake being the only big, with his athleticism, you can't switch it. If you switch it like they did, you can punish it. If you don't switch it, then CP's going down the paint. And, you know, with Jamal and all the shooting on the floor, it made it very difficult for them to score. I also thought what we did was trust it down the stretch. Even though we were running the set, if the option wasn't there, we went to the second option. We didn't try to do it ourselves. You know, it's like I said at the beginning of that quarter, just don't press, do what you do. Don't try to overdo it, and I thought we did a good job of trust.
Did you feel like Collison disrupted them defensively as well as offensively?
Yeah, you know, a couple of times he overpressured Westbrook, which is the last thing we wanted him to do, because once Westbrook gets his shoulders in front of you, you know, he's a locomotive going down the train tracks. And other than that, he was phenomenal. You know, our thought was get up and pressure, see how many seconds you can use before they get in their set. And I thought that was big for us because instead of them starting their offense with 22, they were starting it at 14. That allowed us to trap, and then there's not enough time to swing the ball.
Hey, Doc, it seems as if you're okay with Russell beating you rather than KD. Is that something you've talked about on defense?
No, I'm not okay with it, to be honest. You know, it's funny, and you were going to say it seems like you're letting, and that's how I look at it too at times. You know, he's just very aggressive. He's playing very well right now, And we have to do a better job. What we're not doing is trapping him. We're playing him with one-on-one defense, and we have to do a better job there. But he's hurting us. He's playing very well.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.